Binabanggit mo naman eh. Hindi ka nakikinig. Makinig ka kasi. Hindi ka nakikinig sa mami mo. Uy. Diba? Sila kinay. Palabas din ba dito sa ABS-CBN? Wala na. Kaya nang balita na sa kanila. Pero nag-ano pa rin sila.
Lawmakers in the Philippines have rejected the renewal of a broadcast license for the country's top broadcaster, ABS-CBN. The media group employs 11,000 people and has an audience of tens of millions of people. Activists call the move a political vendetta by lawmakers on behalf of President Rodrigo Duterte. The network has clashed with the president and will now be off the air indefinitely. Here is what an ABS-CBN worker had to say after the vote.
This attack on legitimate media, together with the recently passed anti-terror law, is a throwback to the time of autocratic rule under Marcos. Citizens, you have been warned. Your civil liberties have been eroded. Your democracy is shrinking fast.
Let's bring in DW correspondent Ana Santos in Manila for more on this story. Hi, Ana. Good to see you. Why wasn't this license renewed?
Well, quite simply, this was the president settling an old score. You only have to look at President Duterte's past speeches to see how he has consistently and on several occasions very clearly stated that he will block the renewal of the ABS-CBN franchise. Under Philippine law, broadcasters and utilities are required legislative franchise which can be only approved by Congress. Now, he has threatened many times to block this franchise because he accused the network of not airing political ads that he had paid for during his campaign. So he alleged that the network had swindled him out of some money. Now, this is really very indicative or very characteristic of President Duterte being very vindictive. So today, Congress, which is filled with Duterte allies, voted for the non-renewal of the ABS-CBN franchise.
Ana, where does this leave the franchise? And also, taking a broader look here, where does it leave journalism in the Philippines?
ABS-CBN is the country's largest broadcaster, so it has the widest reach. Its radio and TV programs reach the most remote areas in the country. So it is now cutting off millions of people from vital information at a time of a global pandemic like COVID-19. It has also cut them off from free entertainment, which is also vital during this time of quarantine. And on the issue of media freedom in the Philippines, we also have to look at the past actions of the Duterte government. Even as early as last month, journalist Maria Ressa was convicted of cyber libel, and she could face up to 6 years in prison. So looking at the track record of this administration, they have consistently cracked down on
Nobody said becoming king of the pirates was gonna be easy. I'm Ashley with Watch Mojo, and these are the top 10 biggest victories of Monkey D. Luffy.
So long, Straw Hat!
For this list, we'll be looking at the battles fought and won by Monkey D. Luffy, ranking them on just how impactful, dire, and essential they were to One Piece's ongoing narrative. So get ready for a lot of punches. But before we get to that, this guy's on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, and let me know which your favourite One Piece fight is, or which one of these lists you want to see next. Number 10, Luffy vs. Buggy.
Death to those who try to pilfer my hard-earned treasure!
Long before this jester was a comic relief character whose luck seems to be woven by the hand of God itself, Buggy appeared to be a sinister reflection of the captain of the Straw Hats, one driven by treasure, revenge, and had zero qualms about stepping on innocent people to get the job done.
I already told you, you haven't finished dealing with me yet!
Given his history with Shanks, these two were practically made to be enemies. While we can't say it was Luffy's toughest bout, watching him smack the hell out of Buggy's many chop-chop pieces made for quite the pirate romp.
I win!
Number 9, Luffy vs. Usopp. While he undoubtedly walked away from this little tussle the winner, this is one victory that Luffy probably wishes never came to pass in the first place.
Special attack! Tabasco Star!
After all, it involved him having to punch out one of his own crew. Following a massive argument over the fate of the Going Merry, Usopp challenges Luffy to a duel. Winner takes the ship.
Let's find out! Impact!
While the long-nosed marksman managed to lay on the damage pretty thick, it's nothing compared to Luffy's monstrous strength. As soon as he manages to land that blow to the sternum, it's all over, both the fight as well as their friendship, at least for the immediate future. Number 8, Luffy vs. Arlong. It certainly wouldn't be the last time that Luffy would find himself taking on a murderous fishman, but the most significant is, without a doubt, his clash with Arlong. Not only was this guy a die-hard human hater who loved to cut them down, but he's also the one that turned Nami into a pseudo-slave, forcing her out into the world to steal and plunder.
Damn you! That's 8 years worth of work! 8 years of planning and ambition!
Naturally, Luffy had a bone to pick with this guy, resulting in a vicious brawl that not only liberated the whole island from tyranny, but also saved his future navigator from her own personal hell. Number 7, Luffy vs. NL. He may be a lightning user that's convinced himself he's a living god, using the floating island of Skypiea as his own personal paradise, but it turns out that not even NL and his vaults can overcome something like basic science.
Lightning can't hurt Luffy. He's made of rubber. I've had enough of you. Get off!
After all, rubber beats electricity every time. We can't emphasize how much of a joy it is to see Luffy not only take down this so-called deity a few pegs, but also demonstrate that the Age of Dreams is far from over.
You destroyed my Raiko! Insolent Blue Sea Ape!
You're next! I'll ring you along with the bell!
The fact that it also involved smashing NL's face into a giant bell is the cherry on top.
Let it ring! Hey, Pops! Can you hear it? The City of Gold is here!
Number 6, Luffy vs. Blueno. Mere moments after declaring war on the world government, Luffy demonstrated that not only was he going to hold true to his words for the sake of his friends, but he also had the power to back it up. And we all owe it to his rather short-lived battle against the CP9's resident cow.
All my strength and techniques just went up by one step. Second gear!
Despite Blueno's assassination skills, this little rematch turned one-sided very quickly, all thanks to the reveal that the young supernova now had an upgraded form. After busting this out, it didn't take long for the Navy affiliate to get the sirloin beaten out of him. Number 5, Luffy vs. Gecko Moria. Goes to show that despite having an army of zombies at his command, Moria was far from the scariest thing on Thriller Bark. That title was snatched away by Luffy when he was empowered by the Shadows of the Damned and decided to major payback against the giant.
Then you better shape up and come back now!
Both by crushing the strongest of his undead minions and by bringing an entire building down on Moria's bloated body. Yeah, this was definitely not his night. And while his warning about the New World was chilling to behold, it doesn't take away from the fact Luffy still kicked his ass sideways before the dawn broke.
Strat, you bastard! Just you watch!
Number 4, Luffy vs. Crocodile. As arguably one of the most influential antagonists to square off against the Straw Hat Captain, it's fair to say that the third and final time these two threw down, it was pretty monumental.
You can't defeat me!
With the kingdom of Alabasta ready to tear itself apart, it fell to Luffy to put the shady mastermind of Baroque Works down once and for all. While Crocodile's sand-based devil fruit appeared to make him impervious to harm, things took a turn after Luffy's own blood-soaked hands were able to solidify him, at least long enough for a flurry of punches to